morning. My name is Lori. Welcome to my channel. We are quilters. Today we are doing the last of the weather quilt blocks. This is the 5th one in this series. So I must confess, because we're getting near the holidays, I do not have these pieces cut out. So I'm going to do some very quick cutting and get these pieces cut out so I can post this video. Today is the 1st, and I'm getting this video done because we have company and they have all gone to town. So I'm going to do some speed cutting, get things cut out, and I will show you how to assemble this last cute little block. Let me show you some pictures of this block while I am cutting out these pieces so you can enjoy. There aren't very many of these in the quilt so far. But last week, I showed you how to make this star point shape using a 2.5-inch square and some 2-inch strip pieces. So today, I'm going to use my templates. But if you don't have a ruler to make that shape, then you could very easily make the shape using the pieces for this week also. So go back to last week's video to watch if you don't have a ruler to do this. I'm sure that you do. You can handle this shape. It's not hard. It looks fantastic, but it's not hard. So today I'm using the paper templates. I need some legs. I'm using a nice solid color so that I don't have to worry about if I reverse them accidentally. I mean, it's no big deal to use another color, but you'll notice that I have 4 layers folded up. And I'm just going to lay my paper template on there that I made that matches that shape, matches this shape. So let me just lay it on there. And if it gets a little off, I can trim it after I assemble the block. It will be all right. And if I cut into the paper template accidentally, that'll be all right too, because I made more than one. I mean, all these years on the planet, I have to have gained some wisdom, right? So I'm cutting the long pieces and I'm making sure it's lined up each time. And I could probably get another set right there. I'll have to check that out. Maybe not. Maybe it will be too small. Yeah, it's going to be just a little bit too small. So this is going in the scrap bin for other things. Let me line this back up. And since my template has notches to help me out, I'm going to cut those little notches. Why not? Why not do those things that you can do to help yourself, while trying my best not to cut into the paper. And there we go. One set of 4. And I need 4 more. And this one I have turned the other way so that, you know, if I had been smart, I would have cut this one first because there would have been the 2 pieces. Just saying. Sometimes I haven't gained as much wisdom as I would like. So I'm just going to move this up there. So I'm just going to add that back into the bag, because it'll be all right. As I turn this, make sure it's lined up. Let's check that again, because I think I moved it with the ruler. So I'm cutting the longer edges. And then I'll come back and cut the short edges. I probably shouldn't move this. I should probably just move my ruler. If I were smart, that's what I'd do. But Who knows? Okay, it looks lined up. Looks lined up. Time to give it a whack. Put that in the bin. Now I need to trim off those little pieces. And I will have my 4 legs made. Like I said, this is, you can use a 2-inch strip and make it like we did in the last video. Don't shy away from blocks like this. As you grow and become a better sewer, you can make more complex things. So let's take a look at the pieces. And I know that I'm going to need this template also. I'm going to put that back in the container. But I know I'm going to need this one later. So let's take a look at the list and the block. And the way I do this block, I know that this has also in flip corners. So I need my white piece for in the middle, and I need my 4 purple pieces for sew and flip corners. That is 1 unit that I need to assemble. So there it is, laying there. And then these pieces are made of 2 separate pieces. Now I'm not cutting that little triangle. I am going to assemble them in strips, a light green and a red. So on my cutting, I have a 10-inch strip of 1.5, and I have a 10-inch strip of 1.5. And I cut these oversized so that I can trim them and have a little bit extra for when I'm doing my template, because they all have to be the same way with the red as the small triangle. And I need to be careful because on one of the other ones I made a mistake. So that is 1 unit. Then the next unit that I need to worry about, this kind of has 2 steps. I need to worry about these little half square triangles. There's 2 with the light and 1 with the dark. So I need my 2-inch squares. So there's 2 of them. And there is 4 of them. So there's my green. Green, green, green. Now I need the red, red, red. So I have 6 squares that are 2 inches here. And I am going to draw the line down the middle of the back. And then I have the little red square for there. So in this first stage, I am going to make these little half square triangles along with these pieces. We'll come back to the legs and back to this shape in a few moments. I hear that my company and my husband are back from the store and the little dog, so it might get chaotic for some of the rest of this video. I'm going to draw my lines and get to some speed sewing. This is where you will trim up those little half squares to 1.5 inches, all 12 of them. They will be beautiful, and it doesn't take that long. It may seem like it will, but it doesn't. Don't panic. So now I have my 10-inch strips sewn together. They're a little bit longer than 10 inches, but that's okay. I can always cut off extra. So I fold them so they're in fourths. I lay my template on there, and I notice that where the seam is, there's more bulk, and it just doesn't want to stay straight. So I fold it in half to cut 2 at a time, and I slice off my first half, and I turn it around, and in the process of turning it around, and when I unfolded it, I didn't realize what I'd done to that template. This is why you should mark on your templates if there's a top or It's different, but I didn't. So I'm showing this to you to be honest. I could have edited this right out, but I want you to see that it's okay to make mistakes. And sometimes there's an easy fix, sometimes there's not. It's all right. So now you see I'm looking at that template going, wait, what is going on here? That doesn't look right. So you can see that and then I realize this was when the light bulb went on, that I had turned it the wrong direction. So I hold it up and I compare because I've trimmed a little bit, and I'm worried that I'm going to have to redo. And I've already put that fabric away, but in the end, it works out okay. It's a scant bit off, but it's like a miracle fix because I can always incorporate that in the seam allowance, and it was too wide, not too narrow. So it works out all right. And I cut the little corner off, and I am so thankful that it did not destroy the whole thing. Not that it would have mattered, it was just a little scrap of fabric. But the next one, you notice that the red tip is at the top, so that the part of the wedge is, the top part of the wedge is the red. And thank goodness I didn't reverse that. I did that on one of the other blocks and had to remake it. So now you can see that I have the center pieces, and I've got the legs, as I call them, to make that little unit. Fantastic. Let me move that out of the way and move on to the units that have the half square triangles that are right here in the corner. So I lay it out so all 4 of those units, since they're all the same, are in little piles. So I put the light green in, the light green in, and then the ones with the dark green in, and then the red. And I take it to the machine. Time to speed sew. The units are ready to assemble into the final block. It is very red. So now I just assemble it like a 9-patch. My husband's saying, hey, it's almost time for dinner. Are you almost done? So I'm really speed piecing because I am hungry. There it is, all finished and beautiful. Remember to like and subscribe, help my channel grow. Join me for Blabfest Friday.